Hello everyone. In this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Moeed Pirzada to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Moeed Pirzada's words. A few hours ago, US President Donald Trump congratulated the entire world and made a major significant announcement. He stated that he had successfully brokered a ceasefire between Iran and Israel based on mutual understanding and that it would be fully implemented within the next 6 hours. The deadline he gave was 7 a.m. Israeli time. So, as I speak right now, it must be around 4:30 a.m. in Israel and about to be 5 a.m. in Iran. By the time you watch this, you can understand that within 3 hours this ceasefire will go into effect. Donald Trump managed the Iran-Israel situation almost like a Pakistani would, diplomatically, but he also allowed both nations to continue their ongoing military operations for 6 more hours, such as missile strikes and air raids. Over 3 hours have passed since that statement, after which the ceasefire will take hold. Trump congratulated the world and declared that this would usher in a new golden era of peace in the Middle East. I have written many analytical points regarding this, which I will now present. But first, I strongly wish to read out to you the last operative paragraph of Donald Trump's exact statement, because when I read it, you'll feel enlightened and say that, much like India-Pakistan scenarios, this time Trump has secured the Nobel Peace Prize for sure. After this, I suspect that even if Iran does not recommend it, Qatar and Saudi Arabia might nominate Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. Oman might also join in. This is likely because in the last 24 hours, Iran launched missiles, creating a crisis that worried many. Let's listen to the last part of Trump's statement. I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, for having the stamina, courage and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. This was a war that could have gone on for years, like the 4-day war between India and Pakistan. Millions could have died, but Donald Trump didn't let that happen. This war could have destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't. And it never will, because I came. Donald Trump came. I saved the Middle East. God bless Israel. He knew to name Israel first. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Now, what exactly is this entire matter? I will present all the points one by one. As I said a few hours ago, Trump announced this on Truth Social. Before that, he was in his command center, accompanied by his full team, including Vice President J.D. Vance, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Duncan, Secretary of State, and National Security Advisor Marco Rubio. They all gathered in the operations room to assess what actions to take after Iran launched missiles at the Al Udeid base in Qatar. Let's look at the details. Israel's major newspaper, Haaretz, known for being centre-left and socialist-leaning, reported this conflict most objectively. According to Haaretz, Trump gave both countries a 6-hour ultimatum to stop all military actions. Before this, on June 23rd, Iran, after issuing a warning, launched 6 ballistic missiles at the US Central Command base, Al Udeid in Qatar, and 1 missile at Ain al-Assad base in Iraq. Though the impact was minimal, it led to panic in the region. Flights were suspended in Oman, Bahrain and the UAE due to the crisis. The significance of this event will be analysed for weeks. According to Haaretz, Al Udeid base was empty at the time of the missile strike. Not even a dog was barking. My own research showed that under normal circumstances, this base spans 12 square miles, has 2 airstrips, and houses 5,000 to 10,000 US troops, with an average of 8,000 soldiers present at any time. How was it emptied so quickly? How did they know the attack was coming? According to the New York Times, American and Iranian officials confirmed that Iran had warned the U.S. in advance about the attack to avoid any casualties. Trump, speaking from his operations room and on Truth Social, called the attack very, very weak, but interestingly also thanked Iran for the prior warning. Also worth noting, it has been published that this ceasefire was mediated by the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. Trump publicly thanked him, saying peace would not have been possible without him. Israel, for the past 36 hours, had been asking the US for a ceasefire and had already reopened its airspace in anticipation. Many Israeli citizens were stranded and trying to leave. From Tel Aviv to countries like the UK, Australia, New Zealand and China, Israel had confirmed in advance to Trump that it was ready for a ceasefire. Qatar convinced Iran to agree on the condition that Iran would initiate the ceasefire first, followed by Israel. Trump's current team behaves like courtiers in an ancient Chinese or Mughal emperor's court. He speaks first, Behind him stand his cabinet members like respectful courtiers, hands folded. After Trump finishes, they follow behind like children. After Trump, J.D. Vance spoke and declared that this is great news for the world. Peace has been achieved. He said the main goal was to stop Iran's nuclear program and to prevent Iran from acquiring weapons. Interestingly, he said the US had no interest in the kind of government Iran chooses. That is for the Iranian people to decide. This is a significant shift indicating that the regime change narrative has ended. Let's briefly analyze this. When Iran struck Al-Udeid, it appears they had tacit approval from the US, or at least a mutual understanding, as both have confirmed this sequence. Pakistan's National Security Committee also held a meeting today. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, Field Marshal General Asim Munir, and DG ISI General Asim Malik were present. Pakistan's official statement was that Iran has every right to respond to these attacks in self-defense. This is a very significant statement, acknowledging Iran's right to respond and defend itself peacefully. Iran also apologized to Qatar, saying, "Brother Islamic country Qatar, we had no intention to harm you. This is not against you." This is Iran's official statement and has been published. As I mentioned, Trump ended with, "God bless Israel, God bless Iran, God bless the Middle East, God bless America, and God bless the whole world." Let's now do a serious analysis of this rather cartoonish but significant event. Haaretz, the sensible Israeli newspaper, ran an editorial suggesting that Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has used a divide and survive strategy, much like the British colonial divide and rule. After his conflict with the Israeli Supreme Court in late 2022, Netanyahu became deeply unpopular. Opposition parties united under the slogan, "Just no Bibi," meaning anything but Netanyahu. The people were ready to accept anything except him. Just no Bibi front, and all the opposition leaders were part of this front. Among them were Naftali Bennett, who I believe had previously served as Prime Minister, Yair Lapid, Benny Gantz, Avigdor Lieberman, all of them were part of this front. Netanyahu launched the attack on Iran just one day before the Knesset, Israeli parliament, was to be dissolved because of a military draft bill, which was saved by just one vote. Otherwise, the government and parliament were at high risk of being dissolved. After the attack, Netanyahu received a lot of praise from the opposition. They had to admit that Netanyahu showed great courage and bravery by attacking Iran and targeting its nuclear program, though in reality, the nuclear program was not fully destroyed. So far, all analysis suggests that only surface-level structural damage occurred. Iran's air defense was damaged, but the uranium and a significant portion of its infrastructure survived. Donald Trump angrily said just a day ago that these people are all thieves, they are all scumbags, referring to CNN, the New York Times, because they didn't acknowledge that he had obliterated Iran's entire nuclear program. But Israeli and American analysts continue to say that only surface-level damage was done. Some even hint that the US never intended to fully destroy it. This example from Israeli politics, where everyone united and Netanyahu regained popularity, is similar to how, after Pulwama, the regimes in Pakistan, Sharif, Zardari, Asim, and India, Narendra Modi, all became stronger and more popular. The same thing happened in Israel. The second point to note is that Donald Trump has become very weak in American politics. Americans noticed that Trump behaved like Netanyahu was the president instead of him. Just like during Trump's first presidency, there were allegations that President Putin of Russia had compromising material on Trump and blackmailed him. Trump was rude to everyone else but never used harsh words against Putin. Now people think something similar might be happening with the Israeli lobby or Zionists. That Netanyahu or Israel has something that scares Trump so much that he launched this war even against his electoral base's values. The third point is that Iran's regime has survived. The US has confirmed it is not interested in a regime change in Iran, but the Islamic Republic of Iran has emerged weakened in the eyes of its Arab neighbors, Israel and the world. Arabs saw that the Iran they feared couldn't really inflict any serious damage. Even though Iran launched missiles on the final day, analysts are still assessing the fear they created in the Middle East. The fourth point is that analysts believe Iran's nuclear program remains intact. Trump claimed it was destroyed, but analysts believe Iran will recover from all losses within a year to a year and a half. Iran even had advance warning of the attack. Satellite images show truck convoys leaving Iranian sites like Esfahan and Fordo just hours before the attack, indicating that they moved out their equipment using 18-wheeler trucks. The fifth point is that Trump and his Vice President J.D. Vance believe they can now strike a deal with Iran, possibly involving no or very limited uranium enrichment, sanctions relief, and economic integration with the West, similar to the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, JCPOA, that Obama tried. This is why they believe a peaceful era may begin. They think Iran has been pacified. The sixth point is that Iran's goal all along wasn't seriously about building a bomb. Until now, analysts, both American and Israeli, agree on that. But now they believe Iran will certainly build a bomb. Regardless, Iran's main goal was to get sanctions lifted so its economy could grow, gain technology transfer, and reintegrate into the global banking and economic system. To that extent, it seems they may be moving closer. The seventh point is about Israel. Israel never truly cared about Iran's bomb. For Netanyahu and the Israeli establishment, the bomb was just an excuse. Netanyahu's political needs were fulfilled by the conflict. But the real problem remains: if Iran is reintegrated into the West and sanctions are lifted, Israel, as well as Saudi Arabia and the UAE, will see it as a major threat. Not Qatar, though. Here's an interesting point. Iran launched missiles at Qatar, a country it has strong ties with. Qatar has good relations with everyone and used to channel funds to Israel, which Israel then handed over to Hamas. This is now called the Qatargate scandal. According to Haaretz, Netanyahu's biggest issue is the serious criminal investigations against him. If he loses elections, he will go to jail. Serious charges are pending against him, his wife Sarah and son Yair. The Qatargate scandal involves millions in cash given by Qatar, handed over by Netanyahu's government to Hamas. This is a major scandal from which Netanyahu has now temporarily saved himself as a result of this war. So far, this is the situation. Obviously, within the next 24 hours, you will see a much more sophisticated analysis. I've just shared a rough, basic outline. Now here's an interesting part related to India and Pakistan. Pakistan, at every level, regardless of their intentions, even if partly self-serving, has consistently opposed both the Israeli attack on June 13th and the US, Trump's attack on Iran. The current government of Pakistan has formally condemned both, calling them violations of international law and threats to regional and global stability. Within the past 24 hours, Pakistan even said Iran has the right to defend itself and respond accordingly. Pakistan not only condemned Israel's attack, but also Trump's. On June 18th, at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Pakistan supported China's resolution condemning Israel, which all countries backed except India. At the UN Security Council, Pakistan presented resolutions with Russia and China for a ceasefire and continuously engaged with Iranian leadership via phone calls. On Monday, Pakistan's National Security Committee also said Iran has the right to respond. What did India do? India did not formally condemn Israel's attack on June 13th. They only expressed concern, called for de-escalation, and said peace is threatened. PM Narendra Modi spoke to Iran's president, but India's Ministry of External Affairs did not condemn the attack. Again, on June 18th, India did not participate in preparing the SCO resolution. Their position remained one of concern and calls for peace, but they did not condemn Israel. Similarly, when Trump attacked Iran, Modi called Iran's president again, but India did not condemn the US either. What does this mean? According to international media analysis, India has displayed strategic autonomy, maintaining ties with Israel, the US and Iran without siding with anyone. However, some Pakistani strategic analysts, notably on Twitter, are concerned that India did not condemn two open violations of international law by Israel and the US. Is India just being a good friend to Israel and the US? Or is there a strategic mindset behind this? There's concern, and I share this, that there's a strategic shift happening where India is signaling that the old paradigm of international law is dead. Previously, preemptive strikes or unprovoked attacks were not allowed. Israel and the US have now killed this concept, and India seems to be endorsing the idea that international law as we knew it no longer exists. Note, in the last 24 hours, NATO held a meeting where they gave a new explanation. They said their stance has always been that Iraq shouldn't have nuclear weapons. And now that the US has struck Iran to destroy its nuclear program, even though Iran didn't have nuclear weapons or a weaponized program, they justified it based on past policy. So according to NATO, the US did not violate international law. Just imagine that. This means the entire post-1-2 international order, based on institutions like the UN, Security Council, General Assembly, Bretton Woods, is collapsing. And those strangling this order are the same ones who created it, the US and Israel. India also seems to believe in this new order. That's my analysis. Now quickly, an update on Pakistan. About 6 days ago, former PM Imran Khan tweeted that while the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa budget must pass, it's essential that decision-makers consult with him first. Then, around 15 to 16 hours ago, his sister Alima Khanum tweeted that after many days the family finally met Imran Khan. She said that earlier they protested outside Adiala jail, but now it's being said that it's necessary to consult Imran Khan regarding the budget. Now, PTI MLAs are coming to meet him in Adiala jail to consult on the KPK budget. Whether they'll be allowed or not remains to be seen. If I may add my 2 cents of analysis, I believe the current government in Pakistan, comprising the Sharif Zardari Asim regime, should allow these meetings with Imran Khan. Right now the government has the space to correct many things, to stabilize political and national conditions. Let's hope they allow it. We'll see what happens, and based on that, we can conduct further analysis. That wraps up our translation of Moeed Pirzada's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.